Tales of Phantasia kicks things off with a group of heroes traveling across time to stop an ancient evil from destroying the world. What makes it stand out on the GBA is the real-time battle system, where you're not just sitting through turn-based menus, but actively slashing, casting, and comboing mid-fight. The mix of classic JRPG story and fast-paced action made it feel way ahead of its time. Dark, atmospheric, and brutally tough, Castlevania Circle of the Moon throws you into Dracula's castle as Nathan Graves. The story is simple: stop the vampire lord from rising again. But the real hook is the DSS card system, letting you mix and match abilities to create unique magic attacks. Pair that with the tight platforming and combat, and you've got one of the most beloved Castlevania entries on GBA. This one retells the origin of the Mana series, with a tale about a hero and heroine caught up in the struggle over the sacred Mana tree. Gameplay is action-driven, letting you swing swords, cast spells, and even tame allies to help in battle. What really made it shine was the choice to see the story from either character's perspective, giving two sides to the same adventure. Here's a game that literally made you step outside. Boktai 2 continues Django's vampire hunting saga, with the solar sensor on the cartridge powering up your weapons in real sunlight. The story mixes dungeons, puzzles, and coffin dragging mechanics, while the combat feels sharper than the first game. Playing it felt like being part of the adventure, because the sun was your actual weapon. This one's all about forging your destiny, literally. In Summon Night Swordcraft Story 2, you take on the role of an apprentice craft knight who must create and master different weapons while uncovering a deeper mystery. Battles play out in fast-paced, side-scrolling duels where timing and weapon choice are everything. The combination of crafting, RPG progression, and action combat made it an underrated gem. Imagine slipping into the shoes of countless heroes. That's the charm of Narikiri Dungeon 2. You play as two kids caught up in a crisis that spans across the Tales universe, donning different hero costumes that completely change your skills in battle. The mix of costume-switching gameplay and familiar Tales real-time combat makes it feel like a crossover fan's dream. This one bridges the gap between the first Kingdom Hearts and KH2, where Sora ventures into Castle Oblivion, where memories themselves become weapons. Instead of hack and slash, battles use a unique card-based system, forcing you to strategize while still keeping that action feel. The story dives deep into the mystery of Organization 13, making it essential for fans who wanted more than just button mashing.
Come on! Come on!
Few GBA games scratched the loot and grind itch like Shining Soul 2. You choose a class, dive into dungeons, and battle through hordes of enemies while constantly upgrading gear. The story sets you against Dark Dragon threatening the land, but really it's the addictive dungeon crawling and multiplayer co-op that kept players coming back again and again. Before the sequel came, the original Boktai, where Django wields a solar gun powered by actual sunlight. The premise is simple but brilliant: hunt vampires and seal them away in coffins. Gameplay mixes stealth, puzzles, and outdoor interaction, forcing you to literally step into the sun to charge your weapon. It was one of the boldest experiments on the GBA. Aliens, infection, and fast-paced action, Scurge Hive puts you in the suit of Genosa Arma, battling against a parasitic outbreak on a research base. The hook is that you're constantly fighting off infection yourself, creating this tension where every moment counts. Isometric combat, puzzle solving, and the ticking infection meter make it a hidden gem that feels like a mix of Metroid and survival horror.
Instead of classic platforming, Battle Network 3 takes MegaMan into a digital world, where you jack into cyberspace and battle viruses on a tactical grid. The story follows Lan and MegaMan.exe, uncovering a sinister cyber organization's plan, while the gameplay blends card-like chips with real-time dodging. It's strategic, fast, and makes every encounter feel like a mix of chess and action combat. Few games captured DBZ's story so faithfully on handheld like Legacy of Goku 2. You relive the saga from Trunks' arrival up through the Cell games, playing as multiple characters like Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan. The gameplay combines action RPG combat with stat progression, letting you blast enemies with key moves and level up to truly feel that power curve DBZ fans love. Before the sequel, Shining Soul laid the groundwork as a hack-and-slash dungeon crawler on GBA. You pick a class, descend into monster-filled dungeons, and grind your way to better gear while facing off against Dark Dragon. It's simpler than its follow-up, but for fans of action RPGs, it had that addictive loop of fighting, looting, and leveling that just kept you coming back. Bringing the famous D&D world to handheld, Dark Alliance drops you into Baldur's Gate with a mix of dungeon crawling and real-time combat. You slash through enemies, collect loot, and follow a story steeped in Forgotten Realms lore. The isometric perspective and polished combat make it one of the more console-like action RPG experiences the GBA pulled off. As a follow-up to Legacy of Goku 2, Boo's Fury lets you relive the Majin Buu saga with deeper RPG mechanics. You can equip items, upgrade stats, and swap between characters during the journey. The combat is still action-heavy with key blasts and melee attacks, but the added progression system gave it more depth, making it a standout for DBZ fans craving an RPG twist.
Stepping into Middle-earth on the GBA felt epic with the two towers. You get to follow Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli as they slash their way through orc hordes, all tied to the movie's storyline. The game mixes hack-and-slash combat with RPG elements, letting you level up, unlock new skills, and grow stronger with each battle. It's not just a retelling of the films, it's a chance to actually live the journey and fight alongside the Fellowship. Now, here's one you don't see every day. Sigma Star Saga is part action RPG, part space shooter. You're a double agent stuck between humans and aliens, diving into planets, talking to NPCs, and exploring like a classic RPG. But when battles start, suddenly you're in a fast-paced shoot-'em-up sequence, blasting enemies across the screen. That mix of genres made it unpredictable and super fresh for the GBA. Bomberman isn't just about blowing things up in multiplayer arenas. This entry turned the formula into an RPG adventure. You explore towns, go on quests, and even collect creatures called Carabons to fight alongside you. Of course, the classic bombing puzzles are still there, but now they tie into exploration in battles. It's like the Bomberman we all knew suddenly discovered a whole new world to play in. this one slipped under the radar for a lot of players. In CIMA the Enemy, you're basically guiding a group of settlers through alien worlds while fighting off monsters and managing resources. It's a mix of action RPG combat and strategy, where protecting your crew is just as important as taking down enemies. That balance of fighting and planning gave it a really unique flavor you didn't see much on GBA. Based on the anime, this game lets you step into Yo's shoes as he journeys with his spirit partner Amidamaru. The gameplay feels like a blend of action, platforming, and RPG, with special spirit powers to summon and upgrades to unlock. What kept it exciting was how each spirit you gained opened up new combat options and exploration paths. It wasn't just a tie-in, it actually played like a solid action RPG adventure. Car Battler Joe is few games on GBA that has a unique as Car Battler Joe. It throws you into a post-apocalyptic world where cars aren't just for driving, they're for battling. You play as Joe, a teenager following his father's footsteps as a car battler, taking on quests, earning money, and customizing your ride with weapons and armor. The mix of RPG progression and vehicle combat gave it a vibe that felt like Mad Max blended with action RPG mechanics, making every upgrade feel like a real step toward survival. Elemix is one of those hidden gems where magic takes center stage. The story follows a young alchemist traveling a fantasy world filled with danger and mystery, and the gameplay leans into crafting and spell-based combat. Each element you collect can be combined to create new powers, which adds a strategic layer to every fight. What really stood out was how it rewarded experimentation, letting you tailor your magic to your own playstyle instead of locking you into one path. Klonoa Heroes, Densetsu no Star Medal. Breaking away from Klonoa's usual platforming roots, Klonoa Heroes took the beloved mascot into the world of action RPGs. The game follows Klonoa and his friends on a quest to stop an ancient evil with plenty of heartfelt moments along the way. Combat plays out in real time, with simple but satisfying sword swings and magic attacks, while RPG leveling keeps you hooked. Fans loved it because it gave the Klonoa universe a fresh spin, while still keeping that trademark charm and emotional storytelling. Marheaven, Knocking on Heaven's Door. Based on the shonen manga, Marheaven, Knocking on Heaven's Door let fans step into Ginta's shoes and fight through a fantasy world full of strange creatures and powerful ARM weapons. The game balances story-driven cutscenes with action-oriented RPG battles, where equipping different ARM gear changes your abilities. What set it apart was how closely it tied to the source material, letting fans relive big moments from the anime while still getting room for RPG exploration. This title dropped players into an alternate history of Japan's Warring States period, blending samurai drama with RPG strategy. You command warriors across battles while making story choices that shift alliances and outcomes. The gameplay combined real-time decision-making with RPG stat growth, giving each fight a sense of weight. Fans of Japanese history especially loved it because it added a fantasy twist to iconic figures and battles from the Sengoku era. So that wraps up the top 25 best action RPGs on the GBA. Honestly, turn-based RPGs were way more common on this handheld because of the hardware limitations, but if you look past that, the system still gave us some truly impressive action RPGs, like Sword of Mana or Boktai, proving the GBA could deliver great real-time adventures. For me, playing action RPGs on the GBA always had a special vibe, compact, addictive, and perfect for grinding anywhere, anytime. How about you? Which GBA action RPG stands out the most in your memory? Drop it in the comments below.